Hello, my name's Karen Stangram and welcome to Conquer Crochet, the channel for tips, tricks and techniques for conquering your crochet. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these festive holly leaves and berries. You can add one, you can add two berries, entirely up to you. Make sure you have an odd number because odd numbers always seem to work better in designs. You can add these to anything you'd like to add them to. They could go onto Christmas cards. You can make a few of them, make them into a nice little garland. Lots of ideas that you could use with these little motifs. So if you're excited to get going, give me a thumbs up below, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the notification bell, and let's do this. So to make our holly, I'm just using some offcuts of the Patterns 100% cotton. So this is in the red colourway and the light green, I think I might call it a pale green. I'm using a number 4 crochet hook, because this is a double knit size. Obviously, if you're using a different yarn, you might want to use a different size hook. I have my scissors and I have my needle for sewing in my ends. Okay, so to start off our holly leaves, we're going to use the green yarn, and I'm going to make a slip knot and then chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I'm then going to do 1 double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So that's the first chain, that's the second chain. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet in there. So you insert, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the 2. In the next stitch, I'm going to do a half treble. So I'm using UK terminology. So in America, this US terminology, this would be a half double. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops on your hook. I'm now going to do a picot stitch, and I'll put up a link in the cards here to the video I did on how to do the picot stitch. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then going to do a slip knot into the first chain that I made. So there's 1, 2, 3, I'm going into that first one there. So insert, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the one on your hook, and that gives you your first spike. Going to double crochet into the next stitch. So we've worked into this one, you can see it's been pulled, so it's slightly bigger. So double crochet into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 on my hook. In the next stitch I'm going to do a half treble, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now going to do the next spike, so the next picot stitch, so chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into the first of those 3 chains, yarn over, pull through to make your slip knot, double crochet into the next stitch, half treble into the next stitch, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then you're going to make your picot stitch, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that first chain, pull through the one on your hook, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the last stitch. And there you have half of your holly leaf. Now going to work into the same chain. I'm going to pull that a little bit tighter there. So the same chain that we started with, but we're going to work on the other side. So you need to turn your work round. So we're going to do a double crochet into the first, I'm going to do a treble into the next stitch, sorry, a half treble into the next stitch. Then we're going to do our picot stitch, yarn over, pull through and do your slip stitch. Then in the next stitch here we're going to do a double, In the next stitch we're going to do a treble, sorry, half treble. Then we're going to do our picot stitch, insert hook into the first stitch, chain, sorry, yarn over, pull through and slip stitch, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the last stitch there. And we're also going to do a double crochet into that first double crochet that we made, just to sort of round off the end, and we're going to make that a slip stitch, sorry, not a double crochet. And then yarn over, pull through, and we can cut off our ends. So that's how to make your first leaf. And you can pull on the picots just to make them a bit spikier. And once you've sewn in your ends, that will be finished. So now we have 2 holly leaves. We now need to make our berry. You can make as many of these as you want. You can make them, you could have just the one, which looks quite sweet, or you might want to add 3 holly berries. Things always work better in odd numbers. 2 just looks a bit strange, but 3 seems to round it off. So it depends on your personal preference and what you're actually adding it to. So to make our berries, we're going to take our red yarn and we're going to make a magic circle or a magic ring. And I'll put a link in the cards up here on how to do the magic ring. If you're not sure how to do a magic circle, you can do chain 2 and then do all these stitches in the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to make my magic circle, and I'm going to chain 1. I'm now going to do 12 double crochets into the magic ring. So into the ring, going over both parts, otherwise when you pull it, it won't close the circle. So into the ring, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through the 2 on your hook. Insert, yarn over, pull through the 2. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oops, 11. If you find you're running out of that tail, you can pull it slightly so you've still got something to work with, and 12. So if you want to pause the video here whilst you do your 12, go ahead and pause now. Okay, so we've done our 12. We're now going to pull on this tail here to close that ring and put it really tight, and you should sort of feel a clunk as you go through. And then we're going to do a slip stitch into top of our first crochet. So let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's this one here that we need to go into, if we can. Sometimes it helps not to pull it too tight until you've done your slip stitch. There you go, it's gone through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So we've done our slip stitch, and then yarn over and cut your yarn. And if you want to pull on that circle just to make it a little bit tighter, you can do that. And once you've sewn in your ends, you'll have your berry. Okay, so these are the ones I did in the cotton. I also made some in the Stylecraft Aran, Stylecraft Special Aran, and that's with Meadow, and I think it's called Lipstick, the red colour. You could also swap out the red and use a shiny red if you wanted to have a little bit more bling. And one of the other things you could do if you didn't want to do the circles is to add little pom-poms instead of the circular berries. And you can get these pom-poms on Amazon. I'll put a link in the cards below. Let's swap those around. Let's put the big ones on the bigger leaves. Oops. It stuck to my fingers. And then we've got the smaller ones that can go here. So if you wanted to do pom-poms instead, that still gives you a nice effect. These ones are really nice. They've got little bits of glitter in. You could use plain pom-poms if you wanted to. So that's how to make your holly leaves using your picot stitch, which we covered a few weeks ago, and using your circles to make the berries. You can put these onto Christmas cards. You can make a few of them into a nice pretty garland to go over your fireplace. You can use them in little hairbands. You can even add them to your Christmas scrunchies from last week's video. So make sure you're subscribed. All the links are in the description below. Next week I'm going to be doing another video for you with another Christmas pattern, so make sure you've hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single stitch. Also on the screen now are 2 other videos that will help you on your crochet journey. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy Christmas hooking!